Okay, let's take this Land Rover Discovery 3.9 V8 ES automatic with LPG conversion for a spin. Bring the warning lights up. Starts on the button. I've got it at the moment set so it starts on petrol and then goes on to LPG automatically once you reach certain revs, which is the normal way that they work. Into D, off we go. This one I've done about 200 miles on this now. Drives beautifully actually. Starts on the button, no misfiring, overheating, hesitancy, whether it's running on LPG or on petrol. It just gets on with the job. It's now switched on to LPG and it's running nicely. So yes, nice engine on it. Temperature gauge is sitting just below the halfway point here. I've just done a few miles in town on it. Showing 99,839 miles at the moment, so shortly to turn over the 100,000 mile mark. But, running nicely. There we go. Now, being an ES, it's the top of the range model. This one's got the auto box on it, which gear changes nice and smooth. No clunking, groaning, banging or squeaking or any other expensive noises really. It's only just been MOT'd, this one as well, so I think it failed its MOT on needing on rear shock absorbers, so I would imagine it's had a new pair of rear shock absorbers on the back. Off we go. But it drives really, really well. Track's nice and straight, steering wheel's nicely set as well, it's not sort of off to one side or anything. The V8s are so much nicer to drive than the turbo diesel one. Obviously in normal use the economy isn't as good, but when you've got LPG on them it's brings it back to far more manageable levels. Now, this one being an ES, it's got total specifications. It's got full leather trim inside, electric seats for the driver and front passenger. Passenger one works perfectly. He says it's working fine earlier on. Yeah, it's going up and down, doing everything it should. The driver's one goes back and forth correctly, but the backrest adjustment, the recliner bit on it, the knob has actually snapped off, so unless you get a screwdriver or something to stick in the little slot, you can't actually move the backrest, although it is nicely set at the minute. There's no problems there with the way it's set. This one's also got air conditioning, which is nice and cold actually on here. It's got heated screens front and rear. As with always of these, they've got cruise control, but it never works after a while, and this one's no exception. Twin airbags, driver and front passenger. In front of us here we've got temperature gauge, rev counter, speedo, fuel gauge, all working fine. The stereo has been removed. I know the original stereos aren't up to much in these, so most people do fit a replacement unit. Haven't looked to see if the CD player is still under the seat. Assume it isn't, and then if it is, it's a bonus, eh? Electric windows all round, heated front seats, all the windows are working fine. Also electric sunroofs, twin roofs, electric mirrors which work alright, except I can see the driver's mirror's got some tape around the outside edge, so obviously that probably isn't working quite as well as it should with the against the tape. But it just trundles along quite happily. Unfortunately, we're not going particularly quick here at the moment because this van in front of us is out for a Sunday drive. But I've had it at motorway speeds and it's been really quite pleasant all round. So we're running quite happily on LPG now. Little indicators down there, you can't see it 'cause of my knee, but it tells you whether it's running on LPG or petrol. Up to the junction, stops nicely. There we go. Okay, there we are. That's about it. My name's Simon. You can reach me on 0771 906 9353 or in the office on 0118 946 3352 if you've got any issues or queries that you want to discuss with regard to this late 1996 on a P registration Discovery 3.9 V8 automatic ES with LPG. End.